Hi there, welcome to Apple World. However, they arrives, there's this thing that God won't put anything on you that you can't bear, quite possibly, of the most remarkable and dreaded man in the American music industry. You have a prepaid call from Suge Knight each time you pivot. Everyone needs to spread a few falsehoods, assuming they believe I should affirm. I'm going to affirm and let them know what I understand. What I have seen it resembles Diddy is as yet not. In the clear over claims, he requested Tupac's homicide in light of the fact that Suge and Knight just declared he's doing a webcast from jail and he's coming for everybody. Suge and Diddy generally had a strained relationship, and before Suge went to jail, he openly compromised with Diddy on numerous events. As a matter of fact, Keith Murray, as of late, uncovered that he saw Suge slap Diddy, and LAPD criminal investigator Greg Kading affirmed that Diddy was scared of Suge because he was dead. He shook the canine out of Puffy, but however shook, he was secured and in all probability won't ever see independence. From this point forward, he figured out how to get a webcast bargain in jail. Breakbeat Media just dropped the principal episode of Call with Suge Knight, another week-by-week webcast where Suge will have telephone talks with fascinating people from the universe of hip jump and then some, and since Suge's web recording agreed with the capture of Diddy's previous partner, Keefe D, for Tupac's homicide, Diddy is supposed to overreact at the present time, and he stresses Suge will implicate him for Keith's situation. So what did Suge uncover such a long ways in his web recording? Gang, and could this lead to Diddy getting captured for Poe's homicide? We should separate it. Any craftsman out there need to be a craftsman and need to remain a star. We will not need to stress over the chief maker attempting to beat all in the video, all in the records compassing, or it's been nearly 30 days since Diddy's previous partner, Keefe D, was captured and charged for his contribution in Tupac's homicide, and everybody is presently standing by to check whether Keefe's capture will prompt Diddy get examined for purportedly paying $1 million for Pass's homicide. Criminal investigator Ravenousness Kading, who dealt with the homicide instance of Biggie Smalls, recently affirmed that a source let the specialist know that Diddy offered $1 million to the Crips to take out both Pac and Death Row Chief SNITCHES. Later substantiated his story anyway. He additionally said the Crips never got the cash since Diddy purportedly gave it to a middle person named Eric Von Hertel. As per Key, he's guaranteeing that Puffy offered him $1 million to kill Suge or Tupac. Both better believe it, both their names came up, and as per Keefe D say, you know, Tupac's placed himself on the rundown by all the talking that he is doing. However, it was truly about Suge in light of the fact that it was Suge's muscle that Puffy feared. As all of you realize, Shook was with Pac in the vehicle the evening of the lethal drive-by shooting in September 1996, and he really had chance in the head anyway. He's some way or another endure. The headshot presently is likewise fascinating that analyst Kading guarantees Suge was forever Diddy's essential objective, and as per Keefe D, Tupac put himself on the hit rundown by dissing East Coast. As per analyst Kading, Diddy was unnerved by Sugar. Their meet really began sometime before Tupac at any point contacted ground in La. Fundamentally, Suge was harassing Diddy for quite a long time, and the entire situation raised after Suge's dear companion Huge Jake was killed in Atlanta in 1995. Evidently by Die's fundamental protector, Anthony Wolf Jones. After this, Suge began effectively pursuing Diddy and straightforwardly dissing him. Diddy was overreacting right now, since he needed to come to LA to advance his music. However, he was frightened by Suge, and he had valid justification to be unnerved on the grounds that Suge was doing the most to find out where Diddy and his family were remaining. And as per analyst Kading, that is when Diddy utilized his association with Eric Von Zoom to get security from the Crips. Eric put Diddy in contact with Crips, part Keefe D, and Diddy recruited the Crips to safeguard him from Suge. When he was out in La, Keefe D knew Suge by and by, and they were really lifelong companions. So Diddy thought Key was the perfect individual to get Suge far from him anyway. Shook was persevering, and he continued to attempt to get a daddy while likewise transparently selecting terrible kid craftsmen to come to Death Row and declaring his arrangements to make Death Row East. Yet that is not all Esh was doing during a 1995 Christmas celebration in La. Suge and his thugs faced Diddy's companion, imprint Anthony Ringer, a record advertiser from New York. Suge purportedly went up to Chime and requested that he surrender Diddy's family's street number. Bill said no, so they took him higher up with Suge and several of his team members, and things got pretty serious, Death Row style, as a matter of fact, as indicated by observers. Suge beat up Bill with a champagne jug and afterward constrained him to drink his pee from a champagne woodwind, And Suge did all that just to attempt to find out where Diddy remained, no doubt. Diddy most certainly had a legitimate motivation to be terrified of Suge. In addition to concurring to Keith Murray, Diddy had proactively gotten the flavor of Eshy's displeasure once, during an all-nighter at the Platinum House Club, when Suge slapped a spirit out of Diddy. All of you, right, all of you right, and Puffy was dead. Don't over-Esh smack the canine out of Puffy. So this was the foundation for Diddy supposedly offering $1 million to Keefe D and the Crips to take out Suge and Tupac presently at. As per criminal investigator Kading, what Diddy did was certainly a wrongdoing of requesting murder anyway. Up until this point, examiners truly had no real way to demonstrate this, in light of the fact that the Crips never got the cash and it was essentially Keefe D's statement against Diddy's. I mean, there's surely a requesting and there's an understanding as that comprises sales for homicide, in which was a wrongdoing. However, I likewise comprehend the subtleties of Puffy's trepidation you kept. Now, and is he simply standing up, his butt is misrepresented discourse. Whatever, yet the contention was genuine. It was a life-or-death game that was continuing between these folks anyway. It's presently not simply Keefe D's statement against Diddy's in light of the fact that Suge has a new webcast out. And he's supposedly wanting to spill every one of the beans on Diddy's supposed contribution in Poe's homicide. The principal episode of Suge's new web recording was delivered on October 23 RD. Down on a few industry figures like Sneak Homie, who were furthermore, as per Dave Mays, the following episodes will have a free-reeling design, letting him express his genuine thoughts on anything he desires, and that obviously incorporates Diddy. It's the most crude bona fide thing you could hear. May told Moving Stone, as indicated by viral reports. Diddy is overreacting right now since he assumed he was protected when